Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I had an experience today that I thought was really perfect for giving some helicopter view of who we really are and what's going on planet Earth and what's holding us back from creating the most awesome experience that humans on planet Earth have ever had. It's a big cup to fill. All right, so I encountered two guys walking down a trail. These two walking down the trail, and I'm walking this way to the trail, and we're pretty far apart. We're like out here, and they turn and scurry up the hill, and I'm just walking along. And then, I come to that point in the trail where I've noticed they scurried up the hill on, and I'm looking their way, and they're, good 30 feet up the hill into the woods. They both have masks on, both have walking sticks, and they both wouldn't turn my way. They were sort of scurried. It was like the same way they scurried up the hills, like little, field mice or chipmunks. And when I walked by, of course hey, I'm trying to be as normal as I can. Like, I'm going to pretend you're not cowering back there. But it's Saturday afternoon, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, on a beautiful fall day. Of course they're going to bump into somebody. So I'm sure they bumped into other people, but that's how they, anyway. So that just gives you a lot of information about what's really going on in their psyche. That type of vibration that they're carrying, it just oozed out, the fear, the self-doubt, the, just fear in all directions. But you can imagine that the limiter that is on their life and their life experience and their willingness to try things and grow and experience and seeing the perfection of what's going on around them. Come on, they're really fearful. And so they look for fearful things. They talk about fear. They watch fear on TV. They, express fear to each other. And it's all encompassing. Your sense of self is all encompassing. That's all I can say. And we all know it. But I think people feel powerless to change it. But part of the problem is those two men up in the woods that are scurrying up in fear, I'm the only person walking down the trail with a backpack. I mean, you could see how that, just in that incident, how it's holding them back, because I could give them anything in life. An upgrade in so many categories of life. I could relieve them of all those fearful, the things that they say are wrong around them, the fearfulness, which would have to be translated to, like, I don't have enough of this and enough of that and enough, my house, I guess they really wouldn't complain about they not having something because they don't feel worthy of having anything. So they praise themselves for wanting nothing and having nothing, and they're comfortable in their sense of lack and fear. So unless they're uncomfortable in it, this is the important point, unless they're uncomfortable in that vibration of fear, I'm of no use to them. But if they would be uncomfortable in that vibration of fear, I could be everything to them. I could pop them out of that. It's sort of like you give lottery winnings to someone who's never had money before. It's gone quickly, and they're not the better off for it. If they inherited a bucket of money, they wouldn't be able to hold on to it. If they were given a better house, if they were given a better life, if they were given a better body, a better health, a better relationship, whatever they could dream they wanted, the worthiness is what would translate before the fear. It's like, I just don't really, okay, you got me past the fear. I'm not afraid of you, man, walking down this trail anymore. And I realize that you could give me everything. I don't feel worthy of it. That's what it really comes down to. So building self-worthiness, self-love is everything. We could end this conversation right here. But let's draw some fun points. So back to these two guys in the woods. You feel it, right? It's like, just you feel for them. It's like, such a limiter in life, to be that fearful. Imagine you're fearful of everything. So anyway, I can't reach them. I can't help them. I can reach them and I can help them and I can do everything, but I can't do anything because they don't want it. They won't even turn to me, even though I'm waving and saying, hey. And I didn't go on. I'm not a weirdo. Like, well, you guys have a nice day and don't be fearful out there. And, and I just would have proven them the sense of there are really wackos out there. I don't know what that guy was saying, but it didn't sound nice. Yeah, I don't know. He was trying to swindle money out of us, I'm sure of it. Anyway, so they'd pick some kind of ulterior motive and somehow be a victim of the attack from the guy on the trail because they decided that I was fearful. They'd go home and think they've got coronavirus or something, you know? But, all right. So, where do we want to go with this? So you can picture these guys. They represent population on the planet Earth as we know it. And they represent that energy. I represent the enlightened, non-fearing, conscious creator of perfection. And that dichotomy between the two is a chasm that's really tough to cross. But they need to, if they wanted to experience more love in their life, they would need to change their interpretation of their surroundings and improve on their feeling of self-worth. And then they could come closer. And I could make an effort to come to them and change my dialogue and slow down my process to being like, well, I know for today, we're just trying to accept the fact that maybe someone out there could be encountering you to bring you a gift. And maybe that's all they want. They're not here to get you. Not everybody's trying to attack you. Not everything out there in life, nothing in life. There's no such, well, let's play with this. Can they vibrationally accept the concept that there is no such thing as danger? There's no sort of force. There's no force from the outside to me. There's just me allowing scary things in, me allowing tragedy in, me allowing suffering in, me allowing lack into my life. There's no assertion from the other side. There's just allowing. Those men have not had me attack them. They're just allowing the thought of me to cower them into the woods and turn their head away from me with a mask on. But we all are doing that on some level. But if you're looking down at someone else who's festering over it and calling them, you guys, you're so fearful, then you're on the wrong path. I feel for them, and I would love to reach them if I could. But, let's be realistic. They have to at least turn their head and want. It's a sense of wanting, So if I'm Jesus to them, they just need to turn and say, I want to get out of here. I want to change my thinking. I want to change my experience. We'd say, all right, well, you're going to have to forget about your past experience of who you thought you were, and let me take you into the world of the infinite energy ball that you really are. And that nothing ever came at you bad. Nothing was ever a tragedy in your life. Nothing was ever wrong. It was just a mirror for you to help get some sensitivity to who you really are and to push this moment that's happening right now. Like, let's wake up and just realize that you're an energy ball on an energy ball planet spinning around in the galaxy, which is what particles do to create energy. We're only 0.001% solid matter. There's nothing to me. There's nothing that can happen to me. I'm an energy ball that goes on to infinity and beyond. And I got nothing to worry about. But we've got the winning lottery ticket to be here on planet Earth right now. Breathe it in. It's all good. Tricky, that's what we came for. If we didn't want tricky, we wouldn't be here. So you signed up for tricky. But the tricky's purpose only, seems so shallow, but the only purpose of tricky is to get you to listen to what I'm saying. So the only reason we'd allow those two men in the woods to suffer and have worse of a life, like it's pouring down rain out there, just leave them. Don't go get them. They're still in the woods hiding. Don't go get them. Because they have to feel worthy. They have to come out on their own. There's no assertion to go in and make life good for anybody. You want to turn away from it and come indoors. Come on in. In the love boat. Love train is what I say sometimes. Sometimes I call it love boat. I was going to call it the love shack that time. That's what my kids called it when we camped one time, this little box. It was literally little beds to beds, fit the whole wooden box with a little tiny porch on it that basically just held the gas burner and the refrigerator. But it was on the side of the cliff in Lake George in New York, and it was a beautiful spot. But anyway, I think it was my kids' favorite spot, but they always said it was their favorite spot. But anyway, we called it the Love Shack. It was crowded. You basically just had to pile everybody right from the trail, rocks, to the bed top, and it was just multiple beds everywhere. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about that, because it feels good. All right, so wrap up on this. you got these two people really suffering in the woods. You really want to be helpful to them, but you can't assert yourself to try to pull them out either. Just when someone turns and says, hey, you know what, this sucks, say, well, come on, there's another version of life out there. You can just tune your brain and pick up on the other version of life. Just like I've said about the radio stations. All radio stations are playing in your living room, including the TV stations. We got infinite number of little frequencies just on AM, FM, and television waves. And it's such a tiny piece of all the waves that are surrounding us at all times. So our brains are tuned to frequencies of all different types. We do hearing and sight and smell, and we get that. But there's so many more, and we're going to tune into them. That's where the planet going around the 24,000 years around the galaxy comes into the story, because the planet changes its frequency as it experiences different frequencies around the galaxy. And it's done this over and over and over again. So we've already been through this before. We're an energy ball that's experienced this before. And so we become humans like we are humans on the planet. It's okay. Take it easy on yourself. Nothing you need to accomplish. There's nothing you could do wrong. You can't mess it up. You can't get it wrong. So it's just a matter of, guys, come out of the woods and experience life. Just go have some fun. Take some risks. Take some chances. Explore your world. All right. So now you get that scenario, and then you take me, and it's like, okay, well, that scenario goes on and on. There's levels above me where they're saying to me, hey, Dan, just ease up. You don't realize who you are. You're an awesome co-creator on the planet. And what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, is what's manifesting around you. If you don't like what you're focusing on, then just change what you're focusing on. Find something more pleasing. Because you're going to keep doing that. It's an ongoing process for many levels. This is why I'm trying to explain between these fearful guys, I'd be saying this to them. Well, someone's saying it to me. My higher self, my collective consciousness, my higher vibration that I reach sometimes throughout the day, especially when I'm meditating / walking in the woods by myself, working from the spaceship view. The spaceship view of who I am, I start from that position, and then I come into my life and my day, and who do I want to be, and who am I now, and a sense of perfection in the now moment. That's a blissful feeling. That in itself is worth the price of admission. But beyond that, you get focused in that blissful feeling, and you start receiving information. And it's like, wow. You start seeing that, you know what, I mean, I literally know I could check out from this world and live in my bliss state. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for somewhere between those two, between the fear in the woods and the blissful state where you're disconnected from everybody. Now, between those two is really nothing but a thought. This one's focusing on fear and lack, and this version is focusing on the infiniteness and oneness and perfection of everything around us. So you just got to be working in that direction. If you can feel the difference, then you're on your way. You can feel your way through. Just keep going softer, more loving, more easy. And when it feels funky in your day-to-day actual minutia of life, then back up and stop. Let go, because whatever you're messing with, you're just making it worse. So let go of whatever you're messing with and go to the helicopter view, spaceship view of who you really are as an energy ball, and know that nothing can happen to you. And it's all just a matter of, you got the winning lottery ticket. Live life. Take a chance. So what if you make a mistake? You're going to make mistakes and build on that. So if you're interested in something, not in so much of a doing, but in a being, if you're interested in being a higher version of yourself, then just lean that direction. It just happens. The people come together, everything that needs to happen. The only thing that stops it from coming is a sense of self-worthiness. So, wrap-up point. We're an energy ball connected to the energy of the planet, to the galaxy. And the more I appreciate myself, and the more I accept myself and accept the world and appreciate the world, the more I pop. The more I pop, the better I feel, and the more power I now have. So just like those fearful guys in the woods, I just have the same sense to them that the infinite beings above me have to me. Take it easy. You're doing fine, but if you're not comfortable where you are, just turn your head towards the light and go the path of least resistance. And I know that really sounds so vague, but you gotta, it's an internal journey. It's a concept. You gotta move towards something that feels better. You gotta stop judging and labeling. And like I said before, just turn off the negative vibe information, AKA these two men maybe are talking to themselves about fear vibration all the time. If they just turned away and listened to Abraham Hicks all the time, just swapped out those hours, you know, that would be life-changing, because it would hold a different vibration, different sense of things. And I really think Abraham Hicks, no relation to me, she has the clearest vibrational interpretation of that higher consciousness. She's just a channel. But Abraham is the name that she gave to this sense of the outer beings who are trying to help us, just like I'm trying to help those two guys on the trail. I vibrationally am trying to help them. I feel for them. I could give them anything they wanted, but that's not the point. They don't want from me. That's the problem. They just want to be in their fear vibration. That's the message from above, from the more advanced beings from the galaxy that are outside of us, giving us the same love and appreciation that we're giving down to them. Just allow what is, be what is, and think again about what it is that feels good to you. And pursue that without fear, without judgment. But you got to get rid of the judgment from yourself. Other people are not going to not judge you because of something you've accomplished. They only seem to judge you because you judge yourself. So, loving on yourself, feeling self-worthy, building on those, when things feel that way or you're finding that sense of something, don't stop. Keep digging. Keep going, keep loving it, keep breathing it in, keep stating it, keep thinking it, keep loving it, keep breathing it, keep stating it. And, you know, you're going to slip sometimes and you feel all funky and mad at everybody around you, and then you realize, oh, that's just me, that's my interpretation, I've gotten on the wrong frequency. And take some time and put something down and take some time by yourself and love on yourself. And then when you get that really mastered, then throw the love bombs at other people, because they need it. It helps them breathe while they're on their journey of popping. Because right now, flowers are popping all over the planet. We're springtime on planet Earth in its location in the galaxy. It's a very special time, and a lot of enlightenment is going to happen to us real quick. That's why we're given technology for the biofeedback, so we can figure out different components of our brain, what they do, and what radio stations they pick up. Then we all of a sudden realize we're all in this together. And it's just a matter of sending a little love vibration in a certain way, and whew, that pops up with perfection. Send a little love vibration another way, that problem solved with some kind of miraculous perspective change that shifted, and everyone shifted in their behavior at the same time, like a flock of birds that are in synchronicity together. And they just go to where the bugs are and they feed, and they're just all happy. Anyway, I hope that all makes sense. I'm at 18 minutes. I'm breaking the 20. I'm on my way back down. We're making the story a little simpler. I'm going to work it down to just, I'll sit here and say, love you guys. All right, see ya.